Hello, we're here with Jabari Clarke-Pennegan. So you're going to tell us a little bit about yourself. So you acted when you were 15, huh?
Yeah, when I was 15, I did Julius Caesar in high school. And I kind of always knew from a little kid that I wanted to be famous, but I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. And then when acting came along, acting and being famous kind of go hand in hand. So I figured, famous actor, why not? So I started pursuing that, and it didn't take me as far as I hoped it would. It was kind of slow, but I didn't want to give up. I never wanted to give up on it. And then I started college, and in college, when I got there, my plan was to study graphic design while I pursued a career in acting on the side. And what ended up happening is that there were no graphic design classes in college. So they were all, closed or full or whatever. So I ended up having to switch to communication arts. And that was really like production for film, television, which kind of fit me better because of acting. So I got some opportunities to act, and I also took some directing classes. And I got to take those classes for free. And when I sat in on those classes, I had to participate as if I was getting a grade and do all the assignments even though I was not getting a grade for it. And before I knew it, I was doing short films, and everyone thought my short films were pretty good, and I started sort of putting myself out there, and people started approaching me for projects. And before I knew it, another filmmaker who wanted to shoot a feature film approached me and asked me if I would be interested in doing it, and he said he'd pay me $2,000.
Okay, let's back up into the acting though.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to learn about the acting. So you did a play in high school, and then did you go to auditions? Are you from New York? Where are you from?
I'm originally from Barbados.
Okay, from Barbados.
I moved here when I was 11 years old.
Okay. Was it your family? Your family moved here, and then and then you wanted to get into entertainment did you just want to be famous, or?
Yeah, pretty much, because, as a little kid, I wanted to be a marine biologist. I wanted to be a stuntman, but famous was always before that. Famous marine biologist, famous stuntman, famous whatever. Okay. And then when acting came along, it just seemed to fit, and I was pretty good at it. Mm-hmm. And everyone at school thought I was good at it. Mm-hmm. So it seemed like it was the career for me, but it was...
Did you do like lead roles, or did you start off with a supporting actor thing, or did you just want to be like the star of?
Well, it kind of pretty much just started with lead roles because of doing Julius Caesar. When the English teacher asked who wanted to be Julius Caesar, my hand was the first hand to go up. Okay. So it kind of just started with doing lead parts.
Okay, and then you just went into you said graphic design, right?
Yeah.
Was that like a fallback career, or did you enjoy doing it?
I really enjoyed graphic design, and I didn't look at it as a fallback career. I feel like if you think of it as a fallback, then that's what you're going to do. But it's the career I figured would be flexible enough to allow me to pay the bills and, have an acting career. Because as a graphic designer, you don't have to be stuck in an office all day. You can have your laptop and work wherever, and then bring your work in, and it was good. But I think a higher power had other plans for me, and that's why I ended up on the side of directing and filmmaking.
Okay, so you said you learned how to use a camera. What was it a still camera, or was it a recording camera? How did you teach yourself to do that?
Well, in college, they have an equipment room, and students can rent equipment and so on. Mm-hmm. And so I started taking out a camera, and some of the faculty members, staff, they would show me, how to do it, what to do. And when it came time for shooting class projects, I would volunteer to shoot and to be the one operating the camera. So I really enjoyed that too.
Okay. And what kind of cameras? Did you use different types, or?
We started with Panasonic, and then the school, they upgraded to a really, really nice camera, the Sony EX1. And I fell in love with that camera. And I knew that I wanted to get one at some point. I didn't know how I was going to get one, but I knew I wanted to get one. And after doing the feature film, the opportunity came, and I got one as a gift.
Oh, nice. So then you started doing shorts. Was that during college? You started doing that? And how did you get into it? Did you just work with people and throw around ideas, or did you look online and find people to work with?
Well, it started with I had a dream. I had a really weird dream. And I said to myself, you know what? This weird dream would make a good short film. So I wrote it out, and I kind of changed things around to fit for a film. And I showed it to classmates, and they thought, this is a really good script. So then we set out to make it, and, my first time making it fell on my face. It all fell apart. But I didn't want to give up. I refused to give up on it, and I said, you know what, I'm going to, hold back a little bit, practice on some other things, and then come back and try to make this short film. And I did that, and I went back and I made it, and it came out fantastic the second try. And it actually got into a film festival called the One Forest Film Festival. And that was a great achievement to sort of work on something, have it fail, and say, I'm not going to give up, take some time off, try again, and succeed.
So what's your favorite part about making shorts, or what's writing, producing, directing? What's your favorite part about it?
I would have to say my favorite part is directing. But what I really like most of all is having an idea. You have an idea in your head, and then you watch that idea come from just something in your mind to something tangible that you can actually share with other people. Right. That's what I really enjoy about it.
Okay. So you did Latin Assassins. Was that your first short, or where did that fit in?
Latin Assassins is actually the feature film that I shot. Okay. And that was a big challenge to do because there were a lot of limitations. There was practically no budget. But I really wanted to see what I was capable of and what I was made of. And I overcame the challenges, the limitations, and that film came out really, really nice.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer looked like awesome, the music and everything. So it was. How long did it take you to get it together?
It took 2.5 months. I was not the director of Latin Assassins, by the way. I was the director of photography and the editor. So I shot the film and I edited the film.
Okay. All right, and then after that, you did something else. It was Quicksand. Yeah. Did you? What was your role in that one?
In Quicksand, once again, I was director of photography and editor. I worked with a fantastic director by the name of Alberto Suarez, and he was really on the ball and really knew what he wanted to do. And I had a pretty good time working with him, and it came out to be a pretty good film. And last minute, it got into the Bronx Week Film Festival because another film had a conflict, so they had to drop. And we were lucky enough to get in, and our pictures were in the local newspaper. I can't remember which paper it was. It's a local newspaper in the Bronx.
Okay. So how did you, what's the most challenging thing? Is it budget? Is it finding people? What do you feel like the most challenging?
The most challenging thing is locations, because I can direct the film, I can shoot the film, I can edit the film. I do need a sound guy, and of course you need the actors, you need the talent. But locations, people are always reluctant to give up their locations. Even when I was working on my first short at school, I wanted to film inside of the school, and I wanted to use the school's nursing lab as a morgue. And they really did not want to let me do that. They did not want that to happen at all.
Stay away from our dead bodies.
But they had no dead bodies. They were just a nursing lab. And eventually, after sort of talking them into it, talking to different people, a guy by the name of Joe 14, he really helped me out a lot, and he pulled some strings for me. And I showed it to everyone who was reluctant to let me use the room, and they were really impressed. Okay. So that was a good thing to come out of it.
Okay. And so now you're a videographer. Is that what you're doing?
I do videography, I do events, and I love shooting, so I do that to sort of make a little bit of money and get better and better and better at shooting and editing.
Okay. And you said you're going to get into a web series. Is that anything you can tell us about?
I met an actor by the name of Isaac Esau Gay, and he's a very talented actor, and he wrote a web series because he works part-time as a waiter. And he sort of has different experiences with customers, and he wanted to see what it would be like if, as a waiter, he could fully express how he felt, about some of his customers' requests. So this is him being able to explore, his fantasy of being this very open waiter.
That's interesting because people need to know how it is to be a waiter, because sometimes it's a little irritating.
Yeah. And I just wrote a short film about it combines the frustrations of dealing with the bursar's office at your college and financial aid with a psychological thriller. Okay. So that's all I'm going to tell you about it. Hopefully when I'm done with it, you guys will show it on your website or something. So
sure. So tell us how to follow you, like your website and...
right now you can find me on Vimeo, www.vimeo.com/JROCPENNEGAN. And you can also find me on YouTube, youtube.com/JROCPENN.
Okay. Well, thank you. This is Jabari Clarke-Pennegan, and thanks for joining us.